Let me ask you an open question. What do you think is going to happen during these DS?
I think something with black dresses and a lot of us.
Well, they're not actually dresses. Yeah, they're gowns. They're gowns. What is the elements of a DS according to you?
The elements of a DS.
Yeah. What comprises a DS?
It is a celebration of our academic year. It is a celebration of our birthday. It is actually Latin for day of birth. So it's like a birthday party.
I think that's actually a nice point you make there. That it's a birthday party, because I've looked up, and because it's now the 27th of November, of course, I've looked up who else was born today.
Okay,
yeah?
That's a surprise for me.
It's a surprise for you. So it was a whole list. So I went onto Wikipedia. There were like hundreds of names. Most of the people on that list I did not know. But these were some of the people who I actually did know, or at least recognize. And these are quite some important people. So the first one you know, it's Anders Celsius.
Okay.
So from the guy from the degrees. Yeah, not the 3 degrees, but the other degrees.
More than a degree.
Yeah, and not Fahrenheit, because nobody uses Fahrenheit. No. It's a silly thing.
They shouldn't.
Then we have Abel Enstra. Do you know Abel Enstra?
No.
You don't like football?
Not enough, apparently.
Okay, no, never mind then. Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I know you like Jimi Hendrix. You also brought your guitar?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to use it today?
I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see what's written in the stars for today.
Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yeah, I like him.
You like him?
Yeah.
I also love him. He's a very
cool
nice
guy.
guy. Yeah. And Frank Boeien.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
From Frank Boeien Group. That's the guy who doesn't know what the parks in his own city are named. Named like. Okay. So it is tradition to start this thing with a song, and I don't really know if we have had it on the stream already. So I'm looking a little bit to the side to see if someone can turn it on, because that means we can start with our program. Then let's go.
Gaudeamus igitur, Juvenes dum sumus. Gaudeamus igitur, Juvenes dum sumus. Post jacunam juventutem, post restum senectutem, nos avebidumus, nos avebidumus. Ubi sunt criante nos, in mundo fuere. Ubi sunt criante nos, in mundo fuere. Valite ad superos, transite ad inferos.
Okay, so again, I would like to thank Knudde for this wonderful rendition of this wonderful song.
Very beautiful.
Jaap, honest opinion.
Music to my bleeding ears.
Okay, what is this song about, Jaap? You've studied it.
Yeah, I have studied it. I actually became an expert on the song 5 minutes ago. It's about celebrating your youth and celebrating the time you have before you end up in the grave. It's actually a really nice song form of Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem Natalis. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And how does this tie in with today? So I gather normally we sing this at the start of the academic year. This is not the start of the academic year. This is something else.
But we still we had a limited time with our rector, Tom, of course, but we celebrate the limited time that we had with our rector. And
Okay. So we discussed already in the beginning a little bit what this Dies Natalis is about and what you normally see. I've been around quite some time. I started here in Enschede in 2008 already. It's quite some time ago.
Very long time ago.
I have already seen a few Dieses in my time here.
Weird break.
Also one from the 50 years. And I remember that, you have normally you have the cortege. You know the corteges? Did you study for today? We were asked weeks ago.
No, I was mainly focused on eating pepernoten.
Okay, cortège is this long, is the walk of the rectors in their gowns, and then the rector with the professors, of course.
I know how
and
it
then
looks,
they go to this event because it's really a celebration, and it's also we have asked someone to tell us about the kind of event we're having here. That's Job van Amerongen. Let's hear what he has to say about the subject.
Well, is of course the birthday of the university, at least the celebration of the birthday. And it's always a nice event. There's a lot of tradition with a speech by one of the colleagues about a scientific topic, prizes and awards, that kind of things. And, well, the last few years, it's also a very nice audiovisual show.
And what is for you the most interesting part during one of those celebrations?
Well, maybe the reception. Well, that's where you meet people, but also the whole DS is an event worth visiting. But the most memorable DS, well, that was probably in 2005. It was heavy snow. In the morning, I went to Gronau for a regio project, and coming back, it was already slippery. And in the afternoon, when we went to the UT from home, there was already a lot of snow, so we decided to walk and had our walking shoes on. And then when the DS was over, then there was the Senaat's dinner. But many people didn't arrive because of the bad weather, and others could not leave because of the bad weather. So it was a typical mix that evening. And I remember that there were people who traveled for 5 hours from the campus to Hengelo.
Something maybe you'd like to say to Tom Palstra, who's leaving?
Well, Tom, thank you for the cooperation. I was retired, but we met several times, and certainly with official events because we shared the same storage of our gowns.
That's that's how you see this, the size of this university, right? I mean, it's a small space. Even some people you don't really know that well or don't see that often every day, you still meet them in certain specific locations. And we actually have a movie later today about this gown storage to show you, but we'll leave that for when it's appropriate. Now, Job now, of course, told us what we can expect of a DS, but today is not only about the DS. Today is also about a changing of a rector. So we get a new rector. Have you heard who it's going to be?
I think it rhymes with Tom, actually.
Yeah, very good. So no really big changes there. But where's the big change?
And the last name?
Yeah, it's also too. The leaving rector, he also always gets a gift. Now, this gift is a painting, I gathered. And this painting, they hang it in De Waaier. Have you ever been there, De Waaier?
Yeah.
You know the painting?
There's a nice row of very serious,
very serious looking men. Yeah, exactly. So the next very serious looking man will of course be Tom Palstra. But I gathered that this painting is not yet here. So I would like to challenge you, Jaap, that we do a contest.
Okay.
So we only have these first 15 minutes to fill. This is something we can show, but we have nothing to do in the program for like an hour. So I'd like to challenge you that we make this painting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay. So I brought my canvas. So I'm actually going to paint. Brought my canvas. I also brought my brushes. I brought some paint. What did you bring?
Yeah, I don't want to bother with all this old tech stuff. I brought my laptop, I brought my Photoshop license, and I brought my inspiration. So I will make some sort of digital equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently we're under the sink of the toilets above.
There are some people making grateful use of the toilets above us, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a good moment to let the people know where we are actually. This is one of the storage rooms here in the Vrijhof. The big event is next to us. If I point that way, I point directly at the main stage. And that's also where the rest of the people are. So Tom Palstra. So if you think about Tom Palstra, well, we have to make this painting. We have to make this image. What do you visualize? What do you think about?
Divinity. Just transcendence.
Transcendence.
Yeah. No, I actually know Tom to think that something like integrity is very important. And I think that he has been especially helpful to students. I myself once organized a symposium for which we wanted to invite someone who just received a Nobel Prize. from Groningen. He was from Groningen. And I asked Tom if he could use his connections in Groningen to maybe help us. And that was all arranged within a week. It was, a nice success.
So you got a Nobel Prize winner
On our symposium.
Within a week.
Yeah.
And Tom Palstra arranged it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that guy has such a nice network.
So I think he deserves a painting that reflects that.
That reflects that power.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I'm thinking being a rector is probably a very busy job with a lot of responsibility. So after today, I would take a nice holiday. So that's my inspiration and that's what I'm going to think about. But I think to really understand or maybe to know what it is to be a rector and what being a rector is all about, it's best to ask someone, and we actually asked one.
What does it mean to be a rector?
Yeah, look, I think a leadership role in many senses, and that can be at any level. That can be at the level of a dean, that can be at the level of a department head. It's about making connections. It's about making bridges, about bringing people together. When I left Twente, I actually, when I gave my oratie in Twente, and also when I left Twente, there's a poem that is very special to me, and it's by this guy, a Greek poet called Konstantin Kavafis. As you set out for Ithaca, hope that your voyage is a long one, full of adventure, full of discovery. And that's what this is. This is a journey, and that's the thing that sort of is my philosophy, is that it's the journey that's important, and I need to be learning every day and experiencing something every day, and that's what I'm doing.
I'm going to ask you to be brief.
Yeah.
If you have a piece of advice for Tom Veldkamp, so the new incoming rector.
Listen. Spend the first few months listening to people, trying to understand what makes them drive. Go and meet as many as you can over all of the different faculties, in the corners. Talk to the young people. They're the future. Yeah. The young people. They're the folks who are going to define this university. So, we have the tendency to go and talk to professors and all that, but also talk to the young staff, because these are the folks who are going to carry the university to the next level.
Okay, so young people, Jaap, of the both of us, you're the youngest.
Yeah, I think so.
So what's your opinion?
I never get bored personally of people telling me I'm the future, so no.
Okay, does this give you inspiration for your painting?
I think he emphasizes the nice personal connections that exist on the campus, the warm feeling that a lot of people get when they think back to Twente. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we prepared something just today. Maybe even we prepared something yesterday, talking about warm feelings of Twente, of course, or warm feelings in general.
Yeah.
So, shall we do it? Yeah. Okay. We're just gonna do it.
should.
Yeah, we should. We should. We krijgen wel een nieuwe Tom, maar toch voelt het als pech. Blijf nog even rector, het is toch een leuke baan. Een leuke baan. Thank you. Wow, it's amazing. I really liked it. Yeah. I think this really expresses this warm feeling that people have when they come to Twente and when they are from Twente. Something they take away, right? Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
So maybe to jump ahead towards the official program, can you tell us a little bit about what we can see, what we can expect?
We have some interviews that we prepared, of course. We have some interviews that are happening live. We have an interview with Tom Palstra. We have celebration time. We have black dresses that are actually togas or gowns. And a lot of hilarious videos that we made.
I think we have a very full program, which I think you will all enjoy quite well. And maybe in a minute or so, we will also see a little bit of the things that go behind the screens. Because of course, what you're seeing is really the final picture of months and weeks of a lot of work. So I'd like to already thank the technicians and stuff for the things they have done so far, because it's really amazing to see how this all comes together. And only this morning we had our last rehearsal, and it went, well, I wouldn't say spotless, but we did have a lot of fun. And I think it also inspired a lot of the things that we're going to see today for the further program. I have to go in about half a minute.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words?
No, I think you said it all. We actually rehearsed this song this morning, or we thought of this song this morning. So yeah, I'm still amazed that everything came together just at the right moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jaap and me, we're going to make a few cameos during the official program. And of course, if you stay tuned for a little while after the official program has ended, we are going to show you our paintings. But now, it's time for me to go and check if they are ready for us. So let's take a look. Okay, so here's the technical bit. This is all the storage. There's a lot of stuff over here. It's very nice. It's a very official part. Oh, look, there's the people. Hello, people. So you can see we have a few visitors here. That's very nice. And I think everything is ready. So I would say, let's go to the official program of the Dies Natalis 2020.
Welcome, colleagues, students, alumni and partners from all over the world. Today, we celebrate the 59th birthday of our university. For the first time in history, we do this without your physical presence. You might have skipped one or two celebrations in the past for whatever reason. But who could have imagined that we would miss the nice talks we normally have during the reception at the Dies Natalis? Despite of it all, we are going to enjoy this moment together and make it an event to remember. The purpose of the Dies is to celebrate our birthday together as a community, to share experience and to be inspired towards a common destiny. We've tried to maintain the spirit in the shortened online celebration. Instead of Dies speeches, you will enjoy lively interviews. And then there will be the transfer of directorate. It has been tough at times, hasn't it? Many of you made enormous efforts to maintain our high standards for education and research, and to keep up our scientific interactions with the outside world. I've heard from personal contacts that it has been very difficult for you, students, as well. It's not easy to do without the physical interaction on the campus. On behalf of the board, I would like to thank you all for your enormous commitment, effort and dedication to make things work. Thank you. In a situation like this, it's good to reflect on the core values of our university and on our role in society. Our university was founded in a region that once flourished because of its textile industry. The textile mills shaped the fabric of our society in Twente. The knowledge of weaving and innovation were the backbone of Twente. Now, in 2020, Twente's textiles industry is merely history. But in some way, we, the University of Twente, have gone more and more into the business of weaving. As a material scientist, my yarn consists of atoms and molecules. My tools are mortars and furnaces. The warp and weft are the stacking of atoms and molecules. It's fascinating to recognize the similarities between weaving yarns and molecules. But let me turn to the weaving business of our university. What is the warp and weft, or in Dutch, schering en inslag? What is it here today? One of the challenging aspects of the world we live and work in today is its growing complexity. Everything and everyone is intertwined. On the campus of the University of Twente alone, there is a great diversity of people, projects and domains. And the myriad interdependencies and synergies between them is mind-blowing. You may consider yourself, your knowledge or your fields as a small thread. But together, with your environment, you form a unique fabric, which in turn is part of the larger tapestry of society. Weaving is no longer a local business. The world is now our playing ground. So, as a university, we are in the business of weaving talent. We spin colorful and strong yarn. We weave innovative fabrics with society around us. We are interwoven with regional, national, European and global networks. Weaving, that's what we do.
Okay, thank you, Tom. That was a wonderful metaphor, I have to say. Now, you're not the only star we have today. Next to me, we have Manouk. Manouk, you're a board member of the Student Union.
Yes, that's right.
Can you tell me, what's your portfolio?
My portfolio is personal development and education.
Okay, and personal development, what are you going to do after your board year is finished?
I will be starting my Masters of Technical Medicine.
It sounds very complicated. I wish you a lot of good luck with that. I'm also going to wish you a lot of good luck with the interviews you're going to hold with Tom next to you. But primarily, have a lot of fun. And I would like to say, let's get weaving.
Thank you, Vincent. In the first table discussion, we focus on the talents of our university. To solve the grand societal challenges, we need to approach problems from multiple angles and collaborate across disciplines. A rich variety of students and staff, different cultures and backgrounds, it makes us stronger. In academia, there is a gradual shift from individuals in competition towards working in teams. This is also apparent in the way we train our students and how we organize our research. It is apparent in the way we judge the success of our staff and how we foster scientific careers. Not just the number of publications or citations matter, but also the interaction with students, the contribution to the team, and the societal impact of the research. We've invited Tanja Bondarouk and Monica Morales to share their stories and thoughts with us. So welcome.
Thank you. Monica Morales-Mazis is Associate Professor in the Science and Technology Faculty and member of the Young Academy of the UT. Her research focuses on the development and application of optoelectronic thin film materials. Her research also contributes to finding sustainable materials for efficient energy technologies. Monica truly believes in diversity as key to success in the energy field. Tanja Bondarouk is Professor of Human Resource Management and Technology. After obtaining a master's degree in chemistry in St. Petersburg, she decided to look into the chemistry of people management and talent development. Her #1 mission is that we develop altruistic leadership. Let's see what our students and staff think about talent development.
Yo, I know you like to roll up, but homie, what did you smoking? Green tank and I'm looking like a bank, but I ain't paying for nothing. You lucky, even have my number, you can't.
Hi Jaap and Vincent. For this year's DS, we are looking for answers for talent in our community, within our network. Out of hundreds of options, you have been chosen. Your mission is to go out and explore. Yours truly, Tom. Let's shoot up.
Let's suit up. So what did we learn?
I got nothing.
Okay, let's ask others.
I think the University of Twente is an example for others in a sense that here you work together with all kinds of different backgrounds, all kinds of different nationalities in a way that you wouldn't outside of situations in University of Twente.
I think, for example, the Tom medication model is really an example of something unique on this university because, like, no other university has such a thing.
I think Twente can set an example because we are not a really familiar place in the Netherlands, not that large, but we are a really good scientific institute. And I think by this we can make ourselves famous and set an example.
I think the University of Twente is good at adjusting all the time. I think the University of Twente really listens to what students want and what students need, and they anticipate on that.
My personal development goals are actually really broad.
Finally finishing my thesis. I believe I'm a creative person. I can be creative, so I just need the skills to express myself.
I'm really proud of being in Twente because it's a really nice small university.
I really like the atmosphere and the people here around.
I'm proud of being in Twente because of the close-knit community.
Because I feel like that the University of Twente is more than just studying.
I think overall the student culture in Twente is unmatched anywhere in the Netherlands.
After my studies, I would like to work at a place where I could develop myself.
Something with sustainable process technology.
In the high-tech business management studies.
So the real talent in Twente,
Our sense of community,
the social aspect,
and of course,
our science.
So there you hear it, Manouk. And then Monica, so what do you value here if you collaborate with your colleagues here in Twente?
Yeah, well, first of all, I really appreciate collaborations. I think it's extremely valuable in and outside Twente because it makes us really part of a much bigger community and fighting all for a single goal. I think that's important of collaborations. And in Twente, I really appreciate the willingness and openness of the people to collaborate.
And Tanya, do you maybe know why, how the UT should let talents grow? And do you, for example, have something in which you saw in your work what you learned for personal development?
Wow. Yes, of course, I can recall some years ago I got the possibility to follow the course outside of the box. It was a course of history of arts for half a year. And I met new people, I got really inspirations from that. It was really a paradigm shift for me. And what do you think about it for students? Is it also important to do something else next to the primary curriculum?
Yes, I do, of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it myself. I think when doing more than a degree, you obtain skills which you wouldn't directly get from your studies. And for example, I also got trainings during my board year, which let me see how to use my strengths, but also my weaknesses. And I think otherwise I would have never dared to stand here. So I think you also get a lot of opportunities to do.
And Tanya, if you look at this, so how, if we focus on the good qualities of people, how can we focus more on the good qualities and emphasize all of these characteristics?
Wow, the question is difficult, but the answer may be very short. I believe in a dialogue, and I think in the dialogue we can discover many talents. And for me, a dialogue is not that you talk or I talk, it's about listening. And we can learn to listen to each other. And then we can come up with this fabric of meaning and understanding each other.
And Monica, what is the moment that you were most proud of?
Well, there are some moments, but I have to say one that is really recent. I was just working quite late in the office, and then when you go out, outside is dark, but you could see the lab with the light on, so you could see it all. And I was just taking my bike and saw the lab that I'm actually building. And I have to say that was really like a touching moment. I was like, wow, realized this is what I'm building. And yeah, I have to say it was the moment I felt more proud so far.
Makes sense, of course. Oh, yeah, I didn't see it. But hopefully everyone at home saw it.
And Tanya, it's your research to actually study talent development. How would you like to be yourself, be known in a couple of years?
Okay, usually I ask this question to my PhD students. Let me recall myself. 10 years ago, I would have said I would like to be known for the research into electronic HRM. But now, with time passing by, I think in 10 years from now on, together with the Shaping Individuals and Teams group, I would like to be known for a contribution to recognition and rewards, that everybody in our university feels rewarded and recognized for their effort in academia.
So you already mentioned the Shaping group, but I'm also wondering how you think that we as UT can set an example for other universities worldwide with regards to talent development.
First of all, I think that in Twente we are allowed to be less modest, and we can be proud that we have already set the example for other universities by establishing this talent development program, which is actually more than yet a program, just a program. It's the whole social movement that we want to organize. And the example here, or uniqueness of it, is that we want to include everyone. We want to include students, PhD students, colleagues from support departments. We want to include, of course, scientists, alumni, the whole University of Twente community in it. And I'm very proud of the Twente document, Twente manifesto, which is based and built on the principles from Shaping 2030, where the teamwork, open dialogue are the main principles.
Thank you. Monica, so we cherish diverse communities, but what does this mean in the way we look at individuals?
Well, I will say two main things. The first one is respect, and second one is to really, but really truly value the differences. Because just as a simple example, when we work with people only thinking alike, or people, for example, just think the same way as you do, there is only one way to approach a problem. And when you work with many different people, different cultures, different backgrounds, you have always different paths to solve problems and to tackle challenges. And I think really value these differences is really important. And Tom, so what were your most important initiatives to stimulate talent development while being a rector?
Yeah. I think a very visible one is the one in which we started with the PATIA positions, the female professorship positions that we now try to extend also to the rest of the staff. And there were also is very quite visible is the career development with an emphasis on education, that we look at the diversity of career developments. But I think the longer term prospect is really that we emphasize that developing your talents is not only winning prizes or being funded and that you go from project to project, but that we have a continuous range of talent development in which you can build your career in a strategic fashion.
So now we heard what Tom is proud of with regards to talent development, what he did in the last years with the whole university, of course. But I'm also wondering, Tanja, if you have any suggestion to the new rector magnificus, Tom Veldkamp, who's actually sitting in front of us, with respect to talent development.
Oh, I have many suggestions, but let me choose. First of all, please, let's continue to invest in our talent development at the university and the program about rewards and recognition. For example, what if we give 2 hours per week to everyone in our university for the personal development? Out of box, in another paradigm. And I can tell that there is already an example in the Faculty of Science and Technology, and the Dean Jennifer Herrick calls it personal pursuit. In my faculty, BMS, there is a great example of the teamwork and how to manage autonomy by teams. So why not to transfer these examples to other universities? And I'm looking forward to my dream that hopefully will come true, to establish a center of talent development, research center, where science about talent development and practice are fluidly connected.
Thank you, Tanja. Thank you, Monica, for sharing your thoughts on these ideas.
Thank you.
Next in our program are the prizes and awards. We will have the winners on screen in a few minutes. First, Eddie van Heijem and Wilma van Inge will give the insights of the jury for each prize.
As a proud alumnus of the University of Twente, it is every year a great honor for me to hand over the Overijssel PhD Award. And I'm always impressed by the drive and the motivation and the quality of work of our PhD students. And this year is no exception. Ms. Maaike Conrades is a really talented researcher, delivering important work in the field of technical medicine, working on the effectiveness of aorta repair. And she's also a leading 3D expert in the regional hospital MST, working on better healthcare every day and making improvements even better for patients. And we believe Maaike is a really talented researcher who deserved to win this Overijssel PhD Award, and therefore I'm happy to congratulate her with that and hand her out this certificate for this year. Maaike, congratulations.
Well, I'm very proud to have been awarded the Overijssel PhD Award, and with this prize I would like to take the time and enjoy it with my family and my friends.
I start by awarding the yearly Professor De Winter Award. This award is a gift of the Professor De Winter Fund, which was originally made possible by a donation of Mrs. De Winter. After she passed away, her heirs Henk Hoving and Thijs van Rijn continue this annual donation. This year's winner of the Professor De Winter Award is Clara Stegenhuis. Clara is not only an excellent researcher with a cum laude PhD, but also an excellent teacher and ambassador for mathematical sciences and their societal relevance. Clara, congratulations on winning the Professor De Winter Award.
I'm very honored that I received the Professor De Winter Award. I hope to spend this money on a research visit so that I can strengthen my international collaborations.
I now proceed with the Marina van Damme Scholarship. This scholarship is given out every year to an excellent and ambitious UT alumna to support her professional development. The scholarship is made possible by a yearly donation by Mrs. Marina van Damme. In 1965, she became the first engineer to earn her doctoral degree from the University of Twente. This year is special because we do have two excellent candidates, so the jury decided to also award a runner-up scholarship. The runner-up scholarship is awarded to UT alumna and researcher Annemieke Konijnendijk. With this scholarship, Annemieke will be able to take the first steps to registrate as epidemiologist A. Her ultimate goal is to make healthcare better and more efficient and thus contribute to more patient satisfaction. Congratulations, Annemieke. For the first prize, the board of the Twente University Fund has awarded the Marina van Damme Scholarship to alumna Chemical Technology Pavlina Nanu. The board was impressed by her passion to achieve a more sustainable world. Pavlina is founder and COO of Torwash BV, a spin-off from TNO's Energy Research Center. Torwash was founded in January of this year on the basis of a project led by Pavlina to scale up the Torwash technology from lab to pilot. This technology is a processing method to reduce the sludge in sewage treatment plants up to 85% per year. With this scholarship, Pavlina wants to improve her business and management skills. Congratulations, Pavlina.
I'm so honored and excited to have received the scholarship. I will use it to follow a course at Nyenrode Business University, and this will help me lead a successful business.
We congratulate not only these three winners, but also Mrs. van Damme, who turned 90 this year. We are now in the apple orchard next to the former faculty club, and today we are planning another very special apple tree here. Namely a Groninger kroon apple tree. This is the same apple tree as the ones in Mrs. Van Damme's orchard in her backyard. And every year, all the scholarship winners meet there in the summer in the Marina Van Damme network. Very nice. The University Fund and the University of Twente are very grateful to Mrs. Van Damme for the extra opportunities that she has been offering young, talented and ambitious UT alumni for years. That is why this beautiful orchard on our campus is now named after her. Mrs. Van Damme, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor. De Marina Van Damme Appelboomgaard.
And now we switch to the prize winners. If I'm well informed, then we should have Maaike here, live, present.
Yes.
Maaike?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Very good. So Maaike, our congratulations. Well-deserved and well-deserved prize on stand artery interactions. And you've been mentioned in the Laudatio as a role model for technical medical students. So we heard something about you. Can you tell us what is your goal for next year?
Well, my personal goal is to develop further as a team leader, and I would like to achieve that a lot of research lines that we started this year will really become clinical practice, and we surely plan to publish on this.
Good luck.
And then I think we should go to Pavlina, if we can see her.
Hello.
Yes, now we can see you. Welcome, congratulations to you as well. We already saw in your video that you're going to Nyenrode, and I'm wondering, what do you want to learn there?
Well, basically, I want to learn everything I need to know to make a successful business. As I have a technical background in chemical engineering, it will be important for me to learn in 1 year all the necessary subjects, such as accounting and finance, organizational development, marketing, for example, operations, supply chain management, strategy, sustainability, and innovation. Those are all very important aspects in running that business in the coming years.
So still a lot to learn.
Exactly. Thank you.
Congratulations. And the last prize winner is Clara Stegenhuis.
Yes.
Clara, congratulations to you as well. So you got the Winter Prize for the best publication. It was in mathematics, on on network theory, if I understand. But you also take great pride in explaining this to the larger audience. Well, now you have a large audience. Can you tell them in 30 seconds what they should know about mathematics?
So my favorite mathematical principle is the pigeonhole principle, which tells you that if you have more pigeons than there are cages for the pigeons, then at least one cage should have multiple pigeons. And this is a very simple principle, but if you think about this during the rest of this DS, you can actually use this to show that there are, for example, 2 people with the same amount of friends of social media, or that there are at least 2 people with the same amount of hairs in this world. So that is my favorite piece of mathematics in 30
Excellent.
seconds.
That was quick, thank you. Well, when you want to learn even more about these prize winners and their work, please check the website or the social media for inspiring videos of each winner. Thank you. It's now time for the next table talk.
We may consider each individual or discipline as a small threat, but in our next interview, we will focus on how we engage our UT talents with the outside world in order to accomplish societal goals. Our society faces challenges such as the energy transition, climate change, and affordable healthcare. How do we position ourselves to successfully engage with society? Traditionally, the UT collaborates with industrial partners or with other knowledge institutes. We now also collaborate with citizens and intertwine our knowledge with their abilities and experiences in what's called citizen science. We also collaborate with governmental organizations like municipalities, provinces, and water boards. Open science allows knowledge to be more readily available, which facilitates scientific interactions across disciplines, institutions, and borders. We've invited Wieteke Wilman and Leentje Volker to discuss with us on our connections to society.
Welcome. Professor Wieteke Wilman works at ITC, the Faculty of Geoinformation Science and Earth Observation. She studies the relationship between people and nature. After obtaining her PhD at Wageningen University, she worked all over the world. She worked in Colombia, the USA, and in Italy at the European Commission's Joint Research Center. Leentje Volker is Professor of Integrated Project Delivery at the Faculty of Engineering Technology. She advocates a human touch in the construction industry to stimulate innovation and integration in the built environment. For Leentje, developing and sharing knowledge in collaboration with a variety of stakeholders is key in adding societal value as a scientist. Let's see what our community thinks about this topic.
Hey. Society. I know just the place.
Let's go. Vind jij dat wetenschappers genoeg samenwerken met de samenleving?
Ik verdiep me daar eigenlijk niet in.
Het is volgens mij afhankelijk van om welke wetenschap het gaat.
Het voelt soms aan alsof het een beetje in een bubbel zit.
In Enschede hebben we een heel mooi voorbeeld met onze ethische commissie. Vanaf juni hebben we die ingesteld. Al die data en technologie brengen dilemma's met zich mee. En die dilemma's willen we graag oplossen met elkaar. Maar daar hebben we de wetenschap voor nodig.
Heeft de wetenschap nog autoriteit in de huidige samenleving?
Eerder een wetenschapper serieus dan iemand van de politiek.
Ik geloof het wel. Ja? Als een wetenschapper die zou tegen mij zo zeggen, die zijn slim, hoog opgeleid, die hebben ervoor gestudeerd.
Werken wetenschappers genoeg samen met de samenleving?
Oh, dat is een supervraag. Dat is de supervraag. Ik zelf zit in de samenleving en ik kijk op Netflix, Tesla. Weet je? Dus ik ben nieuwsgierig naar wat daar gebeurt, snap je dat? En hij was wel iemand die naar de samenleving keek en hoe kan ik dat verbeteren weer met licht en alles. En...
Misschien wel eerder al bekijken wat de wensen vanuit de markt zijn. Maar aan de andere kant denk ik dat het juist ook goed is om daar buitenomheen te gaan. Want anders ontdek je nooit nieuwe dingen natuurlijk.
Well, Wieteke, you heard the citizens talk. So the first question that I would like to pose is, what do you as a researcher need from business or society?
Well, very nice actually. But yeah, so for me as a researcher, I'm studying or try to understand how people and nature are influencing each other. So you can say that people and the society that they form, they are my research subjects, they are my research purpose, but they're also my research facilitators. I mean, I need to work with people outside of our university to get, simply said, access to the land, to do measurements. I need their opinions, their thoughts to put in my surveys. I need businesses to scale up solutions that I might find. So actually, if I think about it, it's for me, those relations are one of the most precious research resources that I have.
So a lot of collaboration between the whole community, actually.
That would be needed, yeah.
And how does this relate to your research?
Well, society is my lab. So I collect all my data with organizations, with other stakeholders. And, well, for example, two of my PhDs work closely with Rijkswaterstaat to implement the circular economy and also digitalization of construction processes. And I personally also feel really inspired when interacting with people in society and collecting my data. So that's important for me.
So what is the benefit for society to collaborate with the UT?
I think we offer them reflection and also some kind of authorization of their work practices. And one of the benefits also is because normally it sometimes can take years and years before knowledge gets transferred into practice. But by working really closely together, it's actually one-on-one. So you develop and also apply knowledge at the same time.
And what is it for businesses to collaborate with the scientists then?
Yeah, well, I have one example. For example, in teaching, we often invite guests to give lectures also, because then it shows the students what they can become later on, or how it works in practice. And in one situation, there was a representative of a municipality, and he was really proudly explaining their sustainability goals and what they were going to do about it as a municipality. But he also explained this new tunnel that they were building to get more cars into the city. And then one of the students actually said, well, why are you ever building a new tunnel? If you want to be sustainable, you don't want more cars in your city. So that was for both of them, I think, a really precious experience.
And what is your opinion on this, Lietke?
Working with businesses?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, there's... it's a very good example, I think, that Leentje is giving, yeah.
And about the benefits of society to work with the UT, what do you think of that?
Yeah. For me personally, I'm actually very glad to see a lot of... more and more science policy platforms. Mm-hmm. And then you can think of the IPCC for climate or IPBES for nature. And these are long-term science policy processes in which scientists like UT staff members are actually contributing with their evidence, but also with their expert views.
And Leentje, how easy is it for you to actually collaborate with business?
Really easy. I really consider the UT as part of a regional ecosystem, a regional community, and it's really valuable part. And people and all organizations, businesses, they know where to find the UT. It's really easy, I think.
And we, of course, already heard Tom talking about citizen science in the introduction. But what are your thoughts on citizen science, Wietske?
Well, citizen science is that whole process of generating knowledge. From research questions to the research output, but with non-scientists, like individuals or groups. And I think it's actually a really good time to do citizen science at the moment. We have access to useful technology, like small, affordable sensors that we can distribute among citizens to use. We have a lot of communication platforms, so it's easy to be in touch with the citizens, like with the apps, with the phones, cell phones. And it's also, we're kind of used as citizens, we're more and more used to share our thoughts and to share our information. So in that way, you can actually, as a scientist, you can broaden your research scope, but you also can include these new angles. And we're doing this, for example, in Paramaribo, where we are measuring with citizens the benefits people obtain from urban green spaces.
All right. Well, and Tom, is there a particular initiative from the UT which you are really proud of that you established during the past few years?
Yeah, there are quite a few that I could mention, but one that leaps out is the initiative that we took within the 40EU Federation. It's a big program. It's called High Tech for Sustainable Future, and we started this program with a considerable number of tenure track staff. The advantage is that these staff members, they work on this across the university boundaries, so they collaborate across the universities already, and they do this with a focus on sustainable goals. For instance, there is one project on resilience, or the program, I should mention it. There is one program that is on precision medicine. There is another program called Plantana that actually builds on the basic blocks of the Internet of Plants. And this is something that across the universities makes things thrive very much.
And I would also like to give you the opportunity to give a suggestion to the new rector. How would you strengthen the engagement of the UT talents, or actually the UT within the society?
Yeah, nice question. So of course, like as a rector, you would be looking outside. You would be looking at society to do a continuous reality check. But looking inside, I mean, what we have heard also, we need to bring people and views and disciplines, we really need to bring them together. So I guess if I were a rector, I would really very boldly remove all possible admin or culture barriers that would hamper collaboration within our university. Maybe like with every question every decision I would make, I would think like, is this really building the universitas, the community that we are as a university?
Okay, I hope he's listening very well.
So thank you, Witteke. Thank you, Leentje, for sharing your thoughts on this important topic and how we collaborate with society together with not only industrial partners, but also with governments and including the citizens. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then we move to the third topic of our discussion. Weaving is no longer a local business. The world is now a playing field. In the third round of interviews, we explore how the UT is involved in worldwide networks and ecosystems. Our fabrics are stitched together to form sophisticated tapestries or quilts. And although we work in a regional ecosystem, we see Europe becoming important because of our shared value system. While the United Nations define the most important global challenges, Europe's value system, based on democracy, leadership, and ethics, forms a powerful glue in an often polarized world. In order to contribute to these global challenges, we should not hesitate to utilize our regional strength. Twente has unique characteristics and knowledge that originates from our industrial heritage. We've invited Gerben Edelijn and Stefano Stramignoli to share their thoughts on the value of the ecosystem.
Gerben Edelijn is alumnus of the University of Twente and CEO of Thales Netherlands, with more than 2,000 employees in the Netherlands and 85,000 worldwide. Thales' purpose is to build a future we can all trust. Trust is key when we are together looking to rebuild our new societies after the corona crisis based on sovereignty, resilience and sustainability. Stefano Stramignoli is Professor of Advanced Robotics at the Faculty Electrical Engineering, Mathematics and also Computer Science. He is Chair of the Robotics and Mechatronics Lab. He's also serving for a second term as the Vice President for Research of EU Robotics. This is the biggest civil robotics public-private partnership in the world. He is a member of the Royal Holland Society of Science and Humanities, an IEEE Fellow and an ERC Laureate. Before we start the talk, let us see what the public thinks.
Hey guys!
So I've got the next one. It's ecosystems.
With the fish?
The stuff that surrounds us. The network.
Okay, let's call some people.
Let's go.
Hello, Demcon. Could I ask you some questions about ecosystem? No, not with fish. What is the strength of Twente?
Well, our technological infrastructure and the landscape. We have a lot of technological know-how and we have a lot of technological capacity that we have collected in Twente.
The best kept secret of Twente
Is that all these active students via all
kind of student associations leads to entrepreneurial people.
Hi, Micronit. What do we need to focus on?
strengthening and investing in self-confidence and the marketing skills of this region.
I think the strength of Twente is that we have a lot of technical expertise. From the university, there's a lot of entrepreneurship. A lot of students start their own startup and continue with this after their studies.
Yeah.
So Gerben, you heard some of your colleagues, but also some of our students. So what is our best kept secret and what is the strength of Twente?
No, I think they told us quite rightfully that, you know, the fact that we have a lot of diversity in the companies, very good relations with the infrastructure, so the educational institutes over here, like the UT, it's absolutely one of the strengths. And when I'm abroad, I always say that, you know, we are so close together that for many people abroad, they can't imagine that we, you know, we are 5 kilometers from the university, you know. How many people do have that?
So how do you think then, you already mentioned a bit, but how do you think that Twente sets itself apart from other high-tech areas like Eindhoven, of course, but also Northern Italy and Boston?
Yeah, no, those are quite. That's quite a difficult question, I can tell you. I've been in all those areas, although I'm going to ski in Italy, so that's something else. But what I see as a difference over here is that we have a very broad diversity of smaller companies. If you compare that to Eindhoven, those are founded around old Philips companies, big companies, very large companies, and that also has a strength. We have a different strength. We are more diverse. We have really smaller companies. And as a result, if you're smaller, you need to be more entrepreneurial. So I think the entrepreneurial capability of the UT is absolutely one of the strengths that is very well fitted in this region.
So for you, it's the entrepreneurial capability. And what is it for you, Stefano?
I think that the fact it's in our genes that we have very low boundary, the way we work with people here and the way we act and we collaborate. I think that's our strength if we compare it with other regions in the world. And of course, it is a European way of working that is very special, I think, so that you collaborate better. But specifically, I think that in Twente, also due to the fact that it's a bit isolated with respect to other universities, we are also more directed to collaboration internationally. And I think that is one of our strengths, not a weakness, actually.
You travel considerably. So what do our academic partners and business that you see during your travels, what do they think about Twente?
Yeah, lately, I don't travel much, of course, but normally I do travel indeed a lot. And, you know, I'm very proud of the university in general. So I always promote the university wherever I go. And people sometimes think, you know, is it true, is it not true that it's as good as he says? And then when they come here, then they see how it is actually in reality. So I think that they are curious, possibly, to see what is actually happening in Twente. And Twente is rising in my field really as one of the really key players. And when people come here, then they are blown away, actually.
And Gerben, what do you think that are important competences for students to acquire for your company?
Now, in the past, we discussed about T-shaped professionals. And I think that's today not the right word anymore, because it should be multi-shaped professionals. So, of course, you should be extremely good in your discipline, in technology, for example. That's without saying. But on top of that, we always work in multi-discipline teams. So the importance of working together, of understanding also the benefits of the other. So translating your own domain into the other domains and as a total team, making sure that you can deliver, that's for me one of the real important assets that our students should have.
All right.
And then what should be the role, in your opinion, in terms of upskilling or reskilling of workers, not just for your own company, but also for the region?
Yeah, for me, the biggest challenge we as a society have is the digital transformation. And we all know that, you know, banks becoming IT companies, and we all see the changes that is bringing. And that means that for the whole society, the people that didn't have that education, I learned software engineering, but there are, the majority of us don't have that background, and for them, this is quite a challenge. Making sure we understand that, and we do that better than the others, so making sure that we then can really compete on the worldwide scale, that's for me the challenge in the reskilling of people.
And Stefano, you of course have a lot of European partners, I assume. What are their experiences when visiting Twente?
I would not constrain to European partners. I mean, we have organized a couple of events of international level, and people from Korea, Japan, all over the world. Actually, I use this opportunity to show the infrastructure that we have. And they are, as I said before, they are really blown away, because I think that it's very special that we have, for example, novelty, and we have fantastic labs, fantastic facilities, and they just don't expect that. They maybe haven't heard so much about Twente, or by me or by others, certainly they did. But then when they see actually that it's all there, they are really puzzled, European and outside Europe.
And Gerben, how do you think that our programs and also student teams result in a thriving ecosystem with companies?
No, I think that's very important. We participate in many of them, and it gives our employees a lot of energy, because working together with students, with the future, what mentioned in the short introduction, is for many people really interesting. And I think for the students to get acquainted a little bit, what will happen once I start working later on, is very important. So I think this combination, those student teams are really important, and we should really push that a lot.
That's good to hear.
But actually, I'm curious, Tom, what is your vision for respect to internationalization of research, how we can promote this at the international level?
Yeah. My vision would be that if you look at research in general, scientific research, there is only one scale at which you can do this, and that is competing on the global scale. I mean, you have to collaborate with people that are on the forefront of science, and you have to interact with that entire global scale. On the other hand, what you also see is that over the last 15, 20 years, Europe has become much more important to define our goals. Of course, the global goals are set by the United Nations development goals. But if you look at the way we are organized, Europe is becoming a more and more important partner. And I think this is something that we should emphasize very much, to see that we are in step with the way that Europe is organizing itself.
And I also have one last surprising question, maybe. What would your suggestion be to the new rector with respect to the UT's involvement in networks and ecosystems worldwide, actually?
Yes. I would promote the university not just as yet another university where a lot of scientists work as individuals, but I think that our strength should be to really promote our value, our genes of Twente, as being a place where people work together. There is no space for single player. We want to support society in the future, because we have an amazing infrastructure and we'll work really together and synergize. That would be my message.
And thank you. Gerben, please.
If I may add to that, I would say also really focus at Europe.
Yes.
Today, Europe is becoming more and more important, and also for the university, I would say there is an important role to play.
Thank you, Gerben. Thank you, Stefano, for sharing your thoughts. Very important thoughts here. And also Manouk, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for inviting me. And I think I can say on behalf of all students, thank you for the past 4 years. What I saw, especially in my last years, that you're a rector who really listens to the students. I was also quite surprised when you mentioned that you answer every single email yourself, which you are getting. So that's good. And I also saw it in the summer break when you actually had your own holiday and came back to the UT, and you also mentioned, I think, the Sunday clothing, your weekend clothing, to talk with students to see what's still possible for the physical activities. And I think that's really, really good. And I wish you all the best during the research.
Thank you. That's good to hear. Thank you very much, Manouk. Then, in a few minutes, we will start the second part of the Dia celebration. So Tom and I will need to put on our robes. And in the meantime, you can watch our hosts, Jaap and Vincent, who are going to talk a little bit further about the topics they discussed in all their wisdom.
Yes. So, yeah, interesting discussions.
Yeah, very much so.
Opinion?
Yeah, apparently ecosystems don't have anything to do with fish, necessarily.
What I got it, I think Twente has a lot more to offer than we may think sometimes. I think maybe Twente is the best kept secret of the Netherlands. Maybe Europe, like Gerben just mentioned. So we have to focus on Europe a bit more. I heard that they are going to put on their gowns. Now those gowns, they can be a hassle, or at least we have let us be told by Wim, who's the pedel or the beadle here at the university. And we actually had a little bit of help of Professor Wieteke, showing us how this happens. How do you put on such a gown? So let's take a look. The clothing alone makes me want to be a professor, seriously. I actually asked what it costs, right? Okay, let's give an estimate. What does it cost, one of those gowns? We have to get it from a special place, a sewing shop in the south of the Netherlands, near Nijmegen.
I would say 200?
200, more. More.
Double that, 400.
More?
Yeah. I think you told me, but I completely forgot.
Yeah?
1,000? I don't know.
Yeah, it's more than 1,000 euros. Yeah. So they are quite expensive. So I can understand that they are kept in a special place with all kinds of little vaults, and maybe that you don't really lend them out to others. Yeah, because Wim is really interesting. Wim is a very specific. He likes the tradition here at the university. He thinks it's special. And I think having that tradition is also very good to maintain. And one of those traditions is, of course, the change of rectorate. So let's go back to the official program with Tom.
Thank you, Vincent. I now open the academic ceremony of the Dies Natalis. Instead of the usual ceremony with the full Senate being present, only Tom Veldkamp and myself are present in gowns. Tom, it is extraordinary to have this event in this rectorate transfer in this fashion. Nevertheless, feel fully supported by the full Senate in your rectorate and also by the entire UT community. Next year, you will preside over our next lustrum year, a year in which we will celebrate our 60th anniversary, and I hope this will be a celebration with lots of activities, also in a physical sense present on our campus, with the entire community on the campus.
So Tom, this is it. How does that feel?
I must say, Maaike, it's very mixed feelings. On the one hand, these were the most enjoyable years that I had. You meet many people throughout the university, meetings with students, meeting staff, meeting other members of other universities. You travel across the world, so you get to reign and to direct the future of a university. What nicer can you imagine? So normally it feels then somewhat awkward to leave this behind. And on the other hand, these were very hectic years. So also look forward to having time again to do my hobbies, to have some free time, but also to focus on a few topics that I enjoy to learn more about.
What makes you most proud looking back at the last 4 years?
There are many things that I'm very happy with, But I'm particularly proud on what we have accomplished in the talent management, to give students, staff, the opportunity to perform to the utmost of their capacity and their abilities. So last month we won 10 Veni Awards, 2 Vidi Awards. But it's not only winning these awards, which is a fantastic accomplishment for our university, but it is that these people also can advance their careers, and that we have plans also to make sure that these can grow into a career. Just like we did with the Patia chairs, it gives people a roadmap. It gives them opportunity, member of the UT community, to make them prosper. The second thing that I would like to mention is also the construction of our House of Integrity. As you know, integrity is something that is very essential for just not me personally, but also for us as a university. And to have constructed a good foundation, but also some walls of the House of Integrity is very important for me. Last month we have instated the Central Ethics Committee. So this is the first time at any Dutch university that this is happening. And it's quite unique that we have this structure. And there are many parts of the House of Integrity that we have built over the last couple of years. And there are many things to add in the next coming years.
Yeah, because we have only now the first stones of the House of Integrity.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is much more to do in terms of data management, in terms of ethics, in terms of social and societal responsibilities. So the business integrity, social integrity, there are many more facets that need to be added.
Are you going to be remembered as Director of Integrity? What do you think?
I am not sure if I will be remembered as Director of Integrity. I think that people recognize that integrity is something that's very important for me. But it's not about having an edifice. It should not be a house to stare at. It should be a house with open windows so that we can connect with society, that we can go out and work from this with our value system. So I'm particularly proud of the value system that we represent at the UT. High-tech, human touch, technology for people. And that value system is something that I'm exceedingly proud of.
You ended your speech with the words "Buen camino." What does this mean?
What it means is have a good journey. And it comes from the summer holiday last year. So my wife and I usually like to hike in the mountains. And usually we have alpine hut trails that we enjoy. Last year, this was not possible because of the pandemic, so we decided something else, and also because I knew that my career was taking a shift. So we decided to take a small section of the St. James Road, or the Jacobswege, part of the trails to Santiago de Compostela. So last summer we hiked from Cologne to Metz, and this is, I enjoyed this tremendously. So you see a lot of the history of Europe. You see history being shaped.
For how many days was that trip?
A bit more than 2 weeks.
Okay. How was it with your physical condition?
In the beginning, I must say, not easy. So during the night, I woke up a couple of times, and that everything in your body aches. My condition over the last 4 years has not improved, to say the least. And so it was strenuous, because it's not only the distance, but it's also the altitude. You go up and down and up and down. And but as a cultural, but also as a mental experience, we enjoyed very, very much. And we hope that also in the next coming years, we can do other parts of the trail. So we had expected to do this also next month, to go to a southern part of France, to take a second part of the trail. But because of Corona, that is all changing.
Do we have to say goodbye, or do we meet again?
I think you don't have to say goodbye. So after my rectorate, I will become a professor of solid-state chemistry here at the UT. So you will see me again, and hopefully in many other nice occurrences. So my intention is first to visit a few laboratories, mostly in Germany, to get back into the business of solid-state chemistry, but also in the larger field, and also to make sure that I can forge connections between the UT and other institutes, not only from the research side, but also from the infrastructure side. So these are things that are still in the planning phase, and in the next months I will be traveling, hopefully, to quite a few places. Salve, rector magnifice, iterumque, salve.
Tom, congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel about the period that is ahead of you?
Well, first of all, I'm very honored to be the new rector. And of course, it's a challenge also given the situation in which we are now facing the corona effects, and still the aftermath will be at least another year. And I think it's a challenge to make everything work. And the other challenge is, of course, our ambitions for 2030, and actually to realize them within our UT community.
Okay, thank you. I think there's a big challenge for you in front of you.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah. Let's Get Weaving is the theme of this DS. Can you tell me something about how your role as Director of Magnificus is intertwined with the UT community?
Well, of course, it's very much intertwined. You could say multiple threads in the fabric of the UT, and not only making sure that everything is better connected. So in effect, the weaving could also be our network, as we are as a university, the collaborations, but also our identity, how we actually work together and make a difference in our world. But I'm the threat to the outside world, representing the university and making sure that everyone is aware what we're doing here together at our great university.
Yeah, can you give me maybe an example of how we are intertwined as a university in this region? Or?
Well, certainly. I mean, we create jobs. We train people for the future jobs. But we also develop new technologies, and also actually the knowledge and training people to these new technologies. In that sense, we have a lot of impact. Of course, there are a lot of spin-offs already in the region. But I think we should look at the global picture. I mean, we are in certain domains, we are really world leading. And by collaborating more, specifically in Europe, we can make a larger impact, not only in the science fields, but also in the educational fields. And that's something which will also reflect upon the region of Twente. And I'm really proud that we actually already have a position, and I'm sure we can strengthen this position in the future.
What can we expect from you?
For me, I want to be there for everyone. But I also want to make sure that everyone feels appreciated and can do his or her job in the most effective way. So I'm there to facilitate. I'm also there to make sure that we have the biggest impact, not only in the region, but also, I think, at the national level. So in that sense, I'm both an ambassador and I'm a connector. And I'm also actually somebody who tries to make people feel really appreciated in what they are doing best.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best and good luck with this new challenge.
Thank you. I'll do my best and try to make it work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Tom Palstra, you worked really hard the last years and really made a difference. I mean, I can say you leave the university in a very great shape. So you really deserve your break from the rectorate. And even yesterday we actually heard the news that we are elected or awarded again by the Dutch Keuzegids for Universiteit as being the best technical university. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to see this, that over the last couple of years we have done so well within the Keuzegids. It's a testimony of our students, to us as staff, and it's of course very nice to see this happening. This also for me means that I think I can trust also the transfer to you in very safe hands. I'm proud that you are my successor. I think the entire community enjoys you becoming the new rector. I wish you all the best and all the success that you need, but also please try to enjoy in all of the hectic times. And with that, I would like to conclude the Dies Natalis, our 59th birthday, or the celebration of our birthday today. Special thanks to Vincent Kruse, Jaap Eiske for their support in making this a festive event. And you can hear a little bit more about their commentary in a few moments. I wish you all a good weekend, stay healthy, and buen camino.
Well, thank you, Tom. And Tom, congratulations. This is the official part of this DS, and we're having a small after party. Well, farewell party. But we will have a 15-minute or so break. We will be back at 5:15. I think we are ahead of time, Tom. You did very well. In the meantime, Tom and Tom are taking off their robes. You can wash your hands. Outside are some drinks you can get for yourself. And there will be put something to eat on the table. That's all we can manage in these times. So you'll have some time off. Enjoy. Vincent and Jaap are going to do their after show, and you can watch them as well if you don't want to leave the room. So see you in a minute.
I think a special thanks for Tom Palstra. We were named fully by him.
Yeah.
I feel honored.
I feel honored.
And I think good luck, Tom Veldkamp, of course. Now, we promised that we were going to show our paintings, so that's exactly what we're going to do. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I think it's good if I first explain the thought that went.
Okay.
The thought process.
Explain away.
Okay. Well, the first factor that I wanted to incorporate in the painting is that we are in the middle of a pandemic still. That's the first. The second thing is that, Tom Palstra has been described numerously as a man of integrity. Where can you still find men with integrity? Nowhere. They're very rare. You can feel like you're the last man on earth, basically. So that brings me to the end result.
I think you're going to have to show it a little bit closer. So just walk away. Yeah. So okay. In the light. Very good. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the movie I Am Tom, eh?
I Am Tom. Yeah. I think a lot of people know the movie.
Okay.
It's a very famous movie about our rector.
Okay, and what's the integrity part of this?
That's the gun, I think.
The gun is okay. Okay, let's not get into that minefield. I'm not going to explore it any further.
I think the picture speaks for itself.
I think I understand. I've read the book. It's a book from the 70s, 80s.
That's true.
Yeah. I've read the book. I've seen the movie also. I think it's very nice. I get where you're coming from. Yeah. Okay, so for me, let's talk about my interpretation of this assignment, essentially. So I was thinking, being a rector is a very, very tough job. I think it's long hours, full days, maybe even going on in the weekends. After you're done as a rector, you deserve a good holiday. And we also heard that Tom enjoys hiking, walking. He mentioned the Alps. I did not know that before today, because then I would have chosen the location a little bit different. So what I thought I was relaxing place. What's a relaxing place south of Italy? So I painted a Tuscan sky. A Tuscan sky. I will try to show it in the light. Tuscan sky, of course, with the trees, and you can see the path over which we can walk here. Maybe he'll enjoy it himself. Maybe this one is even better than the one they are going to get from the actual painter. And I think
I'm pretty sure
this is better. Yeah. And can you imagine that this has been made during this? Well, this show, this official program. I think it's quite nice.
I had 50% of our time left. Actually.
You had, yeah, okay. I had to use everything. I was even when they started with the change of rectors program, I still needed to finish some small items. Well, apart from that, I think we can't leave Tom Veldkamp hanging.
No.
So we wrote a song for Tom Palstra. We also wrote one for Tom Veldkamp.
And before you start thinking that this was all done last minute,
this wasn't done.
This was done very last minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tom Veldkamp, je bent pas net bekend. We hebben nu een nieuwe Tom, wat leuk dat je er bent. Blijf nog even rector, het is echt een leuke baan. Een leuke baan.
Anything we need to discuss finally? Last words?
Yeah. How long do we have?
I don't know, about 5 minutes or so, I would say.
That's what we were told, but then it became...
I know.
Okay.
And then it became 10.
And then 30.
15, and now 30.
Yeah. I don't know if people are physically capable of listening to this song for 20 more minutes.
Well, we can try.
We can try.
No. Well, I actually heard Hinke, she mentioned that she really liked the song. She wished it was longer.
Ah.
Yeah, so we were already thinking about a few more couplets, but...
Yeah. Well, then we should have maybe started way earlier, like an hour before then.
Or maybe a few months back when we passed. Yeah, okay. Oh, and the program itself, so if we go over it, what did you think?
Let me eat one of your paints.
One of my paints, my paint chips, yeah. Taste the rainbow, right?
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah.
Non-sponsored.
Leuk gedaan trouwens.
We're still broadcasting, but thanks.
Very nice.
We're getting compliments from all of our fans. It is becoming more and more difficult to keep out all of our groupies. But we're still managing. No, what I really liked is us.
You really liked us?
Yeah.
We couldn't see ourselves, right? I mean...
I could see ourselves on the stream.
Yeah, okay. We have, so, for those of you not... Zit nog op?
Ja, zeker.
Super.
Still live.
For those of you who don't know how this looks like, so we have our own little small studio, right? And this is just a small
closet.
Harry Potter-like closet, which is next to the actual theater where they have all the room and space, right? Because, you know, due to all these regulations, we can only have about 30 people in the same room. And to maximize the amount of persons that can be present there, we have our own little nook and cranny. And this is the storage room of the theater department. So we are actually in the theater seats, which are normally in the room next to us. These are actually, this is not a table, this is a very expensive table. This is actually one of the loudspeakers. Behind this camera we have screens which we can follow the program in the room itself. We have a big bright light. There actually, seriously, there is a washroom, toilet line going straight through this room, and you know, half the time people above you are using the toilets apparently.
Those are not special effects.
Those are not special effects, no. But we've had a lot of fun. I mean, I think we have gotten as close to the program as we could have been, especially also because we were part of this preparation, right? I mean, I think talking to the people in the streets, that was, I think, maybe the best part.
Yeah.
I think I had a lot of fun. Just see what the actual opinions are. we were asked to ask them very difficult questions, like...
how do you feel valued in a team?
No, well, how do you feel valued in a team?
I have no idea.
No,
we have interviewed people for hours, and all the time I was thinking about my own answer.
It's such a difficult question, because how do you... I mean, it's not something you vocalize very easily, right?
Wow.
It's... No, but...
Someone's flushing again.
This is the madness we live in, guys.
Yeah.
No, but it's something you feel, it's not something you say, and maybe that's also a bit of the issue, right? Giving feedback, that's so important, and people don't really do that enough, I think. Maybe we please give feedback. People want it, they like it. They like it when you say, oh, you did a good job. And if someone didn't do a good job, they also want you to tell them you didn't do a good job.
But they mostly want to hear such great paintings, what a great song, I love your red ties, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. You're very smart, very intelligent, super charming. Yeah.
You completely did not make a fool out of yourself in a Harry Potter closet next to the DS.
No.
That's the stuff people like to hear.
Yeah, I think that's what I would like to hear. Yeah. Something else? What else did we see today? I think this whole rectorate, I think it's a pity that we can't have the program as it was, right? I think normally you have, like Joep van Amerongen said in the pre-program, you have this big laser show and smoke and music, and so that they really make a very nice, stylish sci-fi happening out of it, with movies and everything exploding. It's really great. Like Michael Bay made it.
Michael Bay would have become jealous if he saw.
I think he would. Yeah. And that's just the things we're missing. But I think the way we did it now, it's also quite nice. I mean, we have our very nice, cozy little cupboard, but I think next door, it's also intimate, right? I think. Yeah, it's something different, but it's something nice, and being able to still do this way makes me feel proud of being here and being part of it actually. And I don't know if I've said it before, of course, but special thanks to all the technicians working here. You don't see them, but there's like 5 to 10 of those. Yeah. They're working around, working their ass off, just to make sure that this stream runs. And I think they are going to want to change streams soon, because there's going to be an after program as well. So we are now an after program, but there's going to be another after program in which there are some special items for the Tom Palstra.
A Senaatsdiner, but then not really.
Yeah, so it's a Senaatsdiner, but not without the dinner, but also without the Senaat, more or less. So it's and they're going to offer his painting, which is not present, but there is another painting which you're going to present to him. Yeah. Maybe I'm now revealing things that shouldn't be revealed. Tom, if you're listening, you're not getting anything.
Don't count on it.
I think there's also going to be some talks by people who've known Tom for quite some time. There'll probably be just a fun, small gathering happening. With the people who are close to him, right? We were talking to Vinod, and he knew Tom, obviously, and he came from here, so I guess he's the best man to give his experience. And he just said, well, Twente is such a warm place, such warm feelings.
Yeah, he's been working in Amsterdam for quite a while, but still Twente can feel like home.
Yeah.
It can feel like coming home if he comes to Twente. Yeah.
And I think talking about home, going home, coming home,
eating Chinese.
I'm up for some Chinese actually. Yeah. Okay. This is going to conclude our stream. We're going to get the guys from the regie to switch it off. If you're invited to go into the next stream, which is the after program with Tom and his friends.
You started to thank the technical guys. I still want to bring my apologies to the sound guy who I annoyed by imitating a fish into each different microphone for 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we see you again next time, and this is going to be the end of our stream. Let's go.
Thank you for watching.